Hello, everyone. It's another episode of the Richard Lewis Show, and I am, of course, Richard Lewis, back from a night of drinking. So the show is slightly delayed while we try and, recombobulate. Sam is with me, as he very often is. And you know what happened last night, Sam? I went to a bar. Right? I was having a drink, just minding my own business, and all of a sudden, everyone around me started locking the doors, and I looked around. I was the only person in the bar. And the staff said to me, "Oh, we're doing a training exercise. Now come here, ugly." And they started to ride me around like a horse. But here's the thing. I had the chance to win $3,000. So I said, okay, this makes sense. So we did that for 2 hours. And then apparently I also had to lick some toes. I get my money next week probably. So I'm pretty happy, actually. I think it was a night well spent. What about you? What did you get up to?
No, mate, I had just a beauty sleep. Today when you delayed it went out, I just had another hour nap, but I've been straight living like a fucking bear today. It's been great.
So how come you're so fucking tired? Like,
So, when presented the opportunity of sleep or not, I just took sleep every time.
Yeah, there is some truth in that. Like, what is it? A fool sleeps when he has to. A wise man sleeps when he can. There you go. There's some old man wisdom on it. So look, all sorts going on yesterday with this whole Trump-Paris agreement thing. I suppose we'll have to talk about that. I didn't want to. I was like, oh, can we just avoid that with with a show with a hangover? Can we just not talk about that today? But unfortunately, we're going to have to get into it. But let's not get into it first. Let's just do a little catch-up story. You remember our good friend Mason Cross?
Yeah.
Right. Again, for those...
never die.
No, he doesn't die, mate. He's just there in fucking Dracula's tomb, just faking tweets from his daughter. So anyway, for those who don't know who Mason Cross is, maybe you're just tuning into the show for the first time today. Mason Cross is a writer. He's an author. And what he did was he went on Twitter and told a bit of a fib that his 11-year-old daughter had somehow, while giving feedback to her school, invoked a very obscure interpretation of the Geneva Convention to say that you should get rid of collective punishment as it's actually a war crime. And he tweeted this out to say, look how smart my 11-year-old daughter is. Just so happens he's got a book to sell at the same time. I mean, what happy for fortune, how fortuitous for him. And it went viral. Of course it did, because news in this day and age is some cunt tweeted something. That's it, isn't it? I mean, if I had to break down pretty much every major news story or how the media approach news coverage, you don't put people on the ground anymore, do you? Like during the Manchester bombing, I saw a lot of journalists who were like, and let's get a temperature check of what's happening in Manchester. And you're like, okay, well, they're going to go there and they're going to talk to locals. That's what people usually. Oh no, you're looking at Twitter. Okay, you're scanning Twitter. That's it, is it? That's the temperature check. Okay, good. Suppose it's cheaper, isn't it? You don't have to ever leave your house. But yeah, news stories these days. Some cunt tweeted something, and it's either outrageous or it's either funny or it makes you think. And that's it, right? And it goes in one of those three boxes. And then everybody says, yeah, this is brilliant, this. I'm going to retweet that. And then I'm going to retweet the coverage of the thing that I already retweeted. And I'm part of something big and amazing. And it's not. It's just shit. It's garbage. There is no way 11-year-old tweets something should be the news. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
Even if she did tweet it.
Which she didn't.
Definitely.
And it's getting to the stage where I think I might actually use all of the money that I've got coming in to hire. What are they called? It's not phrenology, isn't it? Phrenology is the measuring of people's skulls. Oh, he's a serial killer.
Let's get the lobotomist in. Mason
I don't want
cross,
to.
crowbar through
Don't
the
want to do
front
that.
of the
Yeah,
head.
yeah. Someone will know what it's called. Or someone will say in the chat. When it's like, they'll fucking they'll know what it is when you analyze handwriting. But I'm gonna pay somebody to analyze the handwriting. No, it's not a neurologist, Pikey. You might need one of them. And no, I don't want to do Ava's skull. It would have been his. He's the liar. He's the one with something wrong. Anyway, the whole point of this preamble is you can see here he's still at it, still going. He tweeted this. I didn't even notice this at the time. He tweeted this, and he said, "I have to say, I'm a little hurt that the Guardian, the Times, and the New York Times have yet to weigh in on Avagate," and he tags the publications.
Fucking grow up.
Isn't it?
Because we're not asked of you making stuff up on the internet, you tragic cunt.
Right. And then just the idea of that, like, hey, I'm not doing this for attention, guys. I'm not doing this for attention. I'll retweet that now, actually. He can fuck off. Just have a look at this cunt. I'm not doing it for attention, but hey, publications that haven't written about it yet, could you? I've tagged you. That is pathetic. And of course, smart person, probably it's a smart 11-year-old, replying there. And he goes, I know why. You lied, and they still didn't pick up the story. Shocking, considering they never had problems with posting lies before. And Mason Cross goes, I don't really care, but my daughter is mystified as to why a small minority can't believe an 11-year-old girl can be smart and articulate. Which isn't what they're saying.
Because the handwriting's different and it's done with a different pencil, Mason. Yeah. That is why you rat human hybrid.
Yeah, and it's like she could be really, really smart, but again, obscure interpretations of the Geneva Convention, it's just not in an 11-year-old's wheelhouse, is it? When we sit down and we do all our, geopolitical analysis, we never go, and what does this 11-year-old think about it? Yeah, well, the thing with the Paris climate deal, you don't do it, you see, because it's 11-year-olds. Being smart at 11 isn't the same as being smart as an adult. They're different. And you've not factored this into your lie. So yeah, this cunt is out of his mind, basically. In fact, I think what I can infer from what he's saying there is it's almost as if Ava is a voice in his head, isn't it? Because he's like, no, listen, he's responded immediately there, going, I don't really care, but my daughter is mystified as to why. What is your daughter there telling you to type this up? Mason, take down a tweet. I am mystified.
She walks into the room. Why haven't the Guardian covered me, Daddy?
Yeah. Why can't the world just believe that an 11-year-old can be smart and articulate, like smoking a fucking opium pipe? Like, fuck off. 11-year-olds don't operate like this. This is ridiculous. Makes you wonder if he's got one at all. Like, he might have just hired a fucking child actress for the day, What a fucking mad cunt he is. He's out of his mind. What else have we got going on before we hit the Trump Paris stuff? I suppose we can do a follow-up on Evergreen State College as well, because there was another incident yesterday, just as we were wrapping up the show. It was breaking news, and we got a few sources that I weren't too comfortable with, but this one's a little bit different. This is the Seattle Pi, or I assume it is, or PI, whatever. Basically, what happened was they had to close the campus yesterday because somebody had phoned in a threat who said they were armed and coming to the school. They were going to turn up. Now, I got to say, nobody did turn up. They closed the entire school down immediately. And obviously, lots of people have been saying, it's getting out of bloody hand now, isn't it? Oh, bloody hell, all the nutcases. and it's like that. It's trying to elicit sympathy for a group that deserve absolutely no sympathy whatsoever. Like, let's be clear, all right? If I don't know, if Al Qaeda rocked up to where ISIS were and started chopping their heads off. Bloody hell, ISIS, eh? Oh, that was unlucky. Fucking Al-Qaeda. No one's going to be sad about this, are they? So I wouldn't be sad if someone went down there, right, and fucking was threatening them, because 50 of them have taken police and teachers hostage. I can't. There's no sympathy there, Sam. I'm trying to find some. I'm trying to squeeze some out of my black little heart. Like, it's just not there, dude. There's no sympathy at all for these people. And here's the thing. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say this reeks it didn't happen, doesn't it? It reeks it didn't happen. That at a key time when sympathy is falling away from the group, defunding is being discussed in government, among government officials, that all of a sudden a threat for somebody armed to turn up to the school gets phoned in anonymously by a single individual. No group has said they're going to come and bust these brown shirt motherfuckers' heads open. No one said that. It's just a phone call made anonymously. I've kind of heard of this thing happening before, unfortunately, and I just think it didn't happen. I think this is the group themselves calling this in so they can start moaning about white supremacists again. Because, as I said, I've been following the discourse on the Evergreen subreddit, and it's ridiculous. I mean, the things that they're saying, right? There's people going on there from the group or claiming to be part of the group, and they're saying that not only has racism been a massive issue on this campus for a long period of time, let that sink in. Not one reported instance of any racial assaults, any racist outbursts from students or teachers. I've looked that you can't find anything. This is a school that's respected the original concept of the day of absence, which, and this has been there for years, many, many years, which is, again, if you've not been following the story, this gives black and other minority students the right not to attend their classes, and they won't be docked marks or anything else. They can just have a day off effectively as some form of reparations for the awful environment they live in, being allowed to go to an experimental college where they pretty much dictate everything from the courses down to the rules. And there's people going on the Evergreen subreddit, and they literally believe that white supremacists are on their campus. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I don't think white supremacists exist on Evergreen campus. I don't think that. So, being told actually we're out of sync, Sam.
Yeah, it is. I've tried to fix it, but it's not working. So I'll have to just fix the VOD.
Is it fix the VOD?
It's going to have to be, yeah.
Oh, okay, right. Well, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We'll continue. The good news is it doesn't really matter if my words sync up to my lips. Just listen to the words. Don't look at my beautiful lips. But yeah, so I think this is bullshit. I definitely do. But it does mean that they had to evacuate the campus. The regular students, by all accounts, are just getting bored of this shit now. Because it's like just got nothing to do with the vast majority of the student body. They're not invested in this at all. And it's like, yeah, well, now we've got to evacuate the campus. Like, it is absolutely ridiculous. So, still no resolution in sight. The only thing I've seen that's kind of different is apparently the college has said they won't be firing Brett Weinstein. They said we do not and will not fire any employees in response to student requests. So we'll see how that pans out. That's probably his cause to get locked in a room and shouted at and burnt to death, probably. Good old Evergreen. So let's do it. Let's get into the Trump stuff. Covfefe. Or is it covfefe?
Who knows, man?
Or is it covfefe? Right? If you ever want to see just how fucking mad and insane leftist media is. Covfefe. Okay? That's it. That one word. I thought 2 scoops of ice cream story was as low as we could go. All right? Because let's think about what happens here. Trump does something incredibly mundane. There's so many areas you can criticize Donald Trump. So many. Okay? And indeed, actually, just before I get into criticizing the leftist media that covered the covfefe story, let me get Sean Spicer. He actually did an interview where Sean Spicer said that it was some sort of code and that people, not just an innocent typo, and people in the know would know what it means. Now, this is easily one of the most pathetic things I've ever seen. I've kind of fallen out with Sean Spicer. I never really liked him. I don't think he has the authoritative presence you need as a White House press secretary. I don't think he's got it. He comes out looking like little boy fucking lost all the time. He looks like he's facing down a firing squad. He makes so many mistakes. I mean, to come out and go, well, let's be clear, Hitler never gassed his own people. Spicer, mate. If you were to say the word Hitler to me in a word association game, the next word would be gas, you thick cunt. How can this guy have this job? So I've fallen out with him. All the other centipedes, as they like to call themselves, they fucking say, oh, he's great, isn't he? He sticks it right up the meat. He's an embarrassment. Come on.
Right up the media.
Yeah, he doesn't stick it right up the media. He does. He's shit. He's just shit at his job. So what I'm saying is, when he says stuff like this, okay, it's embarrassing. And he tried to pretend that covfefe was actually a secret code, that people in the know knew what it meant. And the journalists are just laughing in his face, Sam. Just listen to this, mate.
All right. Let's have a 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1, go.
In the next few days, stand.
Okay, will he have a formal cabinet meeting or a formal review before he makes that decision?
That'll obviously be up to the president to decide. Hunter.
Thank you, Sean. Do you think people should be concerned that the president posted somewhat of an incoherent tweet last night and that it then stayed up for hours?
No.
Why did it stay up so long? Is no one watching this?
No, I think the president and a small group of people know exactly what he meant. Blake.
Sean, what do you mean you're mentally ill?
Blake.
Everyone is like, what do you mean?
What is covfefe?
Blake.
No, but so you can...
Blake.
Itself?
Blake.
Is at this point with Paris, is it fully removed, fully stay in, or is there a middle ground that the president is willing to negotiate?
I think
some pieces cut out, some pieces remain.
Look, when the president has a decision, he'll make that announcement and he'll make it clear what the basis of that is.
And then,
Thanks, Sean. 2 quick questions.
Right, so here's the thing. Like, I got to be honest. When you're at a stage, and I understand how it's got to this point, but when you are at the stage where you can't even admit that your president, the administration, whoever controls the Twitter, has tweeted out a typo, you know, where the fuck are we at? And I get it, right? Like, I understand how we've got to this point. It's not, I don't think this administration necessarily wants to lie about things like this. I don't think Sean Spicer wants to be embarrassing himself like that. He must have died a little bit inside, right? Must have, as he said it.
Why would he say that, though?
I don't
We
know
all know what that means. Did you see the one that was like the Seth Rich breakdown?
The what?
Like, it was like, he broke down covfefe and it meant like, someone found evidence. Like, hang on, let me find it. Seth Rich covfefe, mate.
Okay.
I don't want people to find it now.
Yeah, you
That's how
probably
deep
know
the meme
mine.
was.
No, it's probably just in your mind, anyway.
I actually can't find it. It's going to be on Twitter. Someone will know.
All right, well, we'll see if it comes up. But, you know, like, it gets to this stage because we've been in this ridiculous Mexican standoff, dare I use that term, between the press and the Trump administration. They know that when they talk about anything, the press are going to overly scrutinize it and make it the worst possible outcome. So have you got it?
Yeah, that's it, mate.
All right, let's have a look.
Citizen obtained voter fraud evidence found executed. Covfefe.
Not bad, like, not bad. But yeah. So to pretend that it means something is absurd. But of course, it didn't stop the mainstream media. You see, what they wanted to berate Donald Trump for making a mistake. It's so ridiculous. What, he runs Twitter? He's on his Twitter all the time, and you think that he'll never tweet a typo? You know, as like I said, I thought 2 scoops of ice cream was as low as we could go. Donald Trump gets 2 scoops of ice cream while everyone else gets one. He's a motherfucking president.
I bet he gets the biggest piece of meat as well at the dinner table.
Yeah, the big bit of chicken from a KFC bucket. He better get the works. What's the point of being president if I can't get 2 scoops of fucking ice cream? What are we talking about here? These are the same people who, when Bill Clinton was getting his dick sucked, everyone went, he's a motherfucking president. Of course he gets his dick sucked. It's just 2 scoops of ice cream. No one's blowing him under the table while he's eating them. It's ridiculous. But this covfefe, now he's done a typo. You're like, well, how are you going to spin the typo? How are you going to make the typo mean something bad? And it's clear what happened. Whoever was on his fucking Twitter account, right, was typing coverage, C-O-V. The F is kind of close to the E, and then it just spazzed out. It went like that, and it just spazzed out. And the next tweet after it even said, anybody who can figure out what covfefe means, you know, something like that. So he was just trolling people. I don't
understand how you don't check the tweet, though. If you're tweeting from the president's account.
I know, battery could have run out, phone could have locked up. You never just tweeted absolute garbage by accident.
Yeah, but probably not on the president's account, is my point.
Yeah, and some intern probably getting fucking roasted. And again, I don't mean in the Bill Clinton way.
Not spit roasted.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I'm glad that you added that there. Thanks for the clarification. But, you know, the point is, they just tried to blast it off as a joke. The next tweet is like, if anyone can guess what that means. So the press spend all of this time trying to guess what it means. Covfefe's everywhere. It's become a meme. Everyone's talking about it. And you're like, come on, dude, this has got to stop. Okay? This cannot be how we do things. He is a human being, for good or ill. Mistakes will occur. Not everything that he does is newsworthy. I'm sorry. It's got to be said. From 2 scoops to fucking covfefe, these stories are not important and do not deserve any coverage time whatsoever. But guess what? The Independent declared, right? I mean, this is mental, by the way. This is becoming a catchphrase on this show, but strap yourself in. I'm serious. Because you will seize upon seeing this. Put a wooden spoon in your mouth, right? This will drive you fucking nuts. Right. Donald Trump finally deletes covfefe tweet 5 hours after posting it, but the removal might have broken the law.
Who are these people?
Nah, dog. There ain't no way you believe this. Have you been smoking PCP all day? Is that your lawyer? Angel dust. He was moving. Like, come on. How's it broken the law? I'm going to read it to you now, mate. Donald Trump's covfefe tweet was already an embarrassment. Such an embarrassment. I mean, was it an embarrassment when Hillary Clinton fucking keeled over in basic heat, citing pneumonia, and got thrown into a car like a side of beef? Was that an embarrassment? No, it wasn't, was it? And God forbid anybody say that. God forbid anybody say that. When she pulled that mad fucking face when balloons were coming out of the sky and she looked like she'd been beamed up to a fucking UFO. Right? Was that an embarrassment? Well, no, how dare you say that? I'm with her, right? So how dare you say it? But no, this typo is the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to anybody in the history of anything. I mean, fuck, when I was 8, I shit myself in front of all my classmates, and I did so much shit, it pulled the pants down round my knees, and everybody could see the shit, and everyone was laughing. Even the teacher was laughing. But that was nothing compared to covfefe. That was nothing. Probably shouldn't have said that. But anyway, the covfefe tweet was already an embarrassment, but it might also be breaking the law. The president has deleted the now infamous tweet 5 hours after it was posted. It only read, despite the constant negative press, covfefe, a nomic post that brought confusion and memes as people attempted to work out what he was saying. Now, a mere 5 hours and 126,000 retweets after posting it, Mr. Trump has apparently confirmed that the post was a mistake by removing it from the site. But that might make the president's fortunes even worse. Some have suggested that Mr. Trump isn't actually allowed to remove his posts at all because doing so violates laws that require records to be kept of the president's communications. The National Archives has instructed the White House that it needs to keep a record of everything Mr. Trump posts, even if he then goes on to delete the posts. The organization said in a letter to senators in March that it had told the Trump team that it needs to capture and preserve all tweets that the president posts, including those that are subsequently deleted. Well, it's just as well, isn't it? Mainstream media. It's just as well that every time he tweets, you write 5,000 fucking articles about it.
Yeah.
How could we not preserve it? With you fucking ugly, slack-jawed, drooling bastards. Like fucking cracked out zombies slithering out of the sewers that you call offices every morning with notepad and pencil. Surely this is the end of Trump. All of you thinking you are going to be the next fucking, fuck, I remember the name and I learned about it in college. The motherfuckers that brought down Nixon with the Watergate story. You are nothing. You're not even a fucking journalist. Get it through your fucking heads. How the fuck could any tweet not fucking ever be remembered? That's before we get into the thousands of losers that live for Trump, have alerts set. So when Donald Trump tweets, they are there immediately. Like William fucking Wheelie Bin Tits, who's not on the fucking website anymore. It's ridiculous. And here's the thing, I don't know if you know this, right? First of all, if for any legal reason you had to get a deleted tweet, Twitter can do that. Oh, I'm sure Twitter would love to comply in a fucking court case against Donald Trump. And there's this thing called archiving. So what's the problem? But the Independent are literally running this story. And by the way, it's just an incidental letter. They just said, oh, just a bit of housekeeping, best practice. Save all the tweets, yeah? That's it. Doesn't it say what law he's breaking? Doesn't say what the penalties would be, because there won't be any. Imagine a world where you can't delete tweets. What the fuck are we talking about? It doesn't end there, mate. Doesn't end there, does it? Because it can't just end there. It can't just be the Independent being the peak of fucking absurdity, which they very often are. A publication that has swirled down the toilet quicker than fucking diarrhea. I've never seen a publication go to seed so badly like the Independent. I used to read the Independent. Back in the day, these dudes stood by a plagiarist, you go look at what they did with Johan Hari. You can go to rlewisreports.com and go check out. I wrote an article about it. Johan Hari, get this, he claimed that he'd interviewed people, right? This is how bad he was. And he was taking quotes from other people's books and saying that's what the person had said when he interviewed them. And he came out and he went, well, yeah, I didn't make up any quotes. The interview never happened. It never happened. It's a quote from a book. And the Independent went, well, you know, I think this is a training issue. This is a guy who got a job by getting a fucking grant that was in the name of George Orwell, one of the great writers of all time. What a disgrace. What a fucking disgrace. Right? And it got worse after that. All of a sudden, they stopped reporting news. They publish garbage like this. The Independent. How fucking tragic. So, the LA Times, okay, they're like, you know, okay, we do like the covfefe jokes, big fan. But they ran with the headline, all jokes aside, Trump's covfefe tweet sparks questions to, it doesn't, does it? The only question is, why are you writing about a typo? Why are you writing about a typo? Why? Why, Brian Bennett? Why?
Why are you like this?
Right? And he talks up. See, look at that. Straight after the tweet, who can figure out the true meaning of covfefe? Enjoy. It's banter. It's just banter. Right? And then they do this summary. Jimmy Kimmel's in there. What makes me saddest is that I know I'll never write anything funnier than covfefe. Yeah, you're right. You won't. You won't, Jimmy. glad we got there. But why are we seriously analysing this? Right? Look how it ends. Okay? Here we go. However innocent the truth of this matter, speculation about Trump's mental and physical health follows a long history of presidents hiding the facts about troubling medical conditions from the public. Okay. All right. Okay, just hang on, because my pressure is my blood pressure is skyrocketing. Can feel it. It's the booze and the coffee and covfefe. All right. Do you remember there was an election, Sam? There was an election. I can't remember when it was. I want to say it was the last election. I want to say it was this election. I want to say it was when Hillary Clinton was running against Donald Trump. I think it was this election where the press universally condemned anyone that said anything about Hillary Clinton being ill. When whack jobs came out of the woodwork and said, Parkinson's that, mate. How do you know? Don't know. Just look, she got scared by a balloon and that. Right. Okay. Do you remember the wall-to-wall press coverage about how it is wrong to speculate about a politician's health with no facts? Was that not the conclusion? Was that not the conclusion we all came to? Then what are we doing? What are we talking about here? Why is this a fucking article? Is Donald Trump mentally ill? Is he physically ill? The agreement was, it's wrong to speculate about people's fucking health without proof, facts, evidence, or medical records. Let me just see. Do you have any medical records here about Donald Trump, LA Times? Because I'm sure if I just type LA Times Hillary's health, I'm going to find an article, probably by the same cunt who wrote this, saying how wrong it is. And Paul Joseph Watson, known alt-right conspiracy theorist, right, said that, you know, it's going to be that, isn't it? Okay. White House staff initially did not disclose a heart attack suffered by President Eisenhower. Okay, good. Kennedy kept secret he had a rare autoimmune disorder called Addison's disease. All right, not really seeing how we're getting on to Trump. Maybe the next sentence will do it. Reagan's speech pattern showed early signs of dementia during his final years in office, a fact reported only after he left the White House. Yeah, he did have dementia. Trump has not provided the sort of detailed medical records that recent predecessors and presidential nominees have. In September, his physician, Harold Bornstein, said Trump was in excellent physical health in a letter released by Trump's campaign without medical documents. This is the last sentence of a report about the covfefe tweet. There is no family history of premature cardiac or neoplastic disease. Mr. Trump's parents, Mary and Fred, lived into their late 80s and 90s. What are we talking about? This is a typo. Why do we end a report about a typo about how long Trump's parents lived for? What is happening? What is happening? Why does no one care anymore, Sam? No one cares anymore. They don't give a shit. That reporter has wrote that piece of garbage. He has dropped his trousers, squatted over a blank sheet of paper, bent a biscuit out on it, folded it, smeared it, handed it over to an editor and gone, look what I wrote. and the editor's gone, brilliant. We'll publish that. This is the standard of journalism, mate. This is where we're at. It fucking depresses me. I grew up wanting to be a journalist. And now I am one. And look at my peers and colleagues. Look at them all. Scum. Doesn't end there. Covfefe.
About.
Mate, I saved the best till last. This is going to be tough. I just gotta get my head down and just plow through all this. All right. You ever heard of a cunt called Seth Abramson?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Or Seth Abramson, depending on pronunciation. Well, he is an attorney, a former criminal investigator, a professor of journalism, and has written for the Washington Post and Dallas News. You know, it's a nice resume, isn't it? Nice resume. Unfortunately, he's suffering from a really bad case of Trump derangement syndrome. He's got the old TDS, right? Just look.
His box is gone.
All right, here it is. The president is unwell. He now says covfefe is secret code. Please retweet if you think this dangerous man must be impeached immediately. Breaking. Trump now claims his covfefe tweet contained no typos. This is sociopathy. He must be impeached ASAP. Now, if you go over to Seth Abramson's Twitter, it's fucking ridiculous. Fortunately, not everybody is as mentally ill as him. He deleted these tweets, which is why you're seeing a screenshot. You can see here, Alex Griswold said, mental instability is wanting to impeach a president over a silly tweet, which is definitely true. But just have a look at this guy's Twitter feed, Sam. It's another one of these people tweeting into the void, tweet after tweet about Russia, right? What? Right. 6 months of solid, multi-layered investigations into the Trump-Russia ties. Everything has been leaked to the press at every stage of every investigation. Still nothing. Still nothing. All right? Show me something. Yeah, well, he bought a fucking bottle of vodka once. All right, come on. Come on, he doesn't even drink. You're lying. He's a teetotaler, you cunt. But just look at his Twitter feed. Tweet after tweet after tweet about impeachment, about covfefe. Here's what's really interesting. The guy who had tweeted there saying, fucking, oh, he's ill. He's ill. Impeach him. Covfefe, right? He literally tweeted so much about it, right? And then, do you know what conclusion he came to? This is just like 2 days later. So this Abramson character says covfefe is proof that the president is ill and needs to be impeached immediately. He's dangerous. He's asleep at the wheel. He's mentally ill and has to be impeached. Okay, for everyone's safety. Then, just 2 days later, same issue, covfefe Trump apparently isn't mentally ill, and he's playing 4D chess, motherfucker. You didn't see that coming, did you? Yeah. 2 days ago, Donald Trump has a brain tumor, everyone. He's going to press the red button. 2 days later, that was all a ruse. That's a fake tumor. The tumor's made him super smart, right? Look at this. Covfefe was a distraction in a very different way. So is today's news about the Paris Agreement. The story is a compromised president of the United States. So this is after 20 tweets about how he's being run by Russia. This guy's fucked in the head, mate. What happened? What happened? What happened? I've never seen this before. I've never seen anybody be this ill because of a president that got in. I've just never seen it. Honestly, man. How? Like, it's just an election. It's just an election. I've never had an election drive me mentally ill. It just doesn't happen. Bloody candidate I wanted to get in didn't get in. Well, better luck next time. I guess we'll just have to strap ourselves in and accept that as a lowly peon, politics don't really affect me all that much, really. Doesn't. Just have to deal with the shit that rolls down the hill, don't I? Well, welcome to the hierarchical structure of Western capitalism. It's fine. You know, maybe I'll become more politically involved. Maybe I'll show up and vote next time. Like a lot of these cunts who were crying about Brexit didn't. Who were crying about Trump didn't. So, that's a good leap-off point to an article that I saw on Heat Street. And I love this article. I'm a big fan of Heat Street, the publication. Like a lot of the journalists they got over there. But this is perfect. And the funny thing is, I've had my own run-ins with people on this list because they're just all mentally ill. So this is the article inside the sad, pathetic lives of people with the top replies to Donald Trump tweets. And here's the thing. If you think about William Legate and how he broke him down, again, if you missed that episode, go watch it. But basically, this is a rich kid whose parents don't even like him, but have to fund his decadent lifestyle. A kid who was awarded a Peter Thiel bursary of $100,000, which he managed to convert into a failed app, which apparently was like, ever wanted to share pictures on the internet, but didn't want to get bullied? Yeah, it doesn't happen anywhere, mate. Yeah, you got a million options for that. Well, this is the thing. Fuck off, mate. It's garbage, isn't it? And just failed and just disappeared. And now, after being discovered that he's got freakishly large nipples, is too scared to come back and use Twitter and face the music. And before he read his fucking way over the hill, he created a block bot which blocks 130,000 people. Because and people, he says, are the worst of the worst. So these people do have sad, pathetic lives. Love this. The top one, guy I was just tweeting at the other day, Mike P. Williams. So thank you, William Hicks, for writing this article. Because Mike P. Williams is a fucking omni-shambles. He's a fucking loser. I don't know. He's got 27,000 followers on Twitter. Because he claims to be a writer and a content producer. But he doesn't write or produce any content. He literally just spends his time tweeting into the void about politics. And he gets the occasional high five from everyone. This was the guy who said on Twitter, like, my lawyers are drafting a letter because Donald Trump blocked him. And then he goes, no, I was definitely joking. I was definitely being sarcastic. Even though later on in the tweet chain, he's saying, oh, but that American, that Babe Bess, or Best Babe, whatever the fucking name is, wants to sue Donald Trump. Yeah, she's got a case. So, wait. You think she does? Interesting. But Mike P. Williams says he's a freelance writer. He ain't written anything lately. And when he did, it was at BuzzFeed. Okay? And look what he's written at BuzzFeed. I think he's from Liverpool, Sam.
Yeah, some great fucking novels in here, man.
Right? 17 life skills every Scouser has mastered. 21 things you'll miss when you leave Liverpool. 44 things that would be different if Friends was set in Liverpool. I think he's from Liverpool. All he talks about is Liverpool. On BuzzFeed, I swear he hasn't written a single article that doesn't have the word Liverpool or Scouse in the title. That's true. It's all Liverpool stuff. Or as they say in Liverpool, what a meth.
What a meth.
What a meth. Yet a ming, yet a mong, yet a meth gone wrong. They do say that in Liverpool. I used to have a girlfriend over there. Don't know why she was singing that to me, looking back, whatever. And look, his Instagram account shows an even sadder tale of woe and loneliness. All the pictures feature freshly Amazon-delivered Blu-ray DVDs. Oh, William.
He's been wrecked already, mate. What a legend.
All of it. William Hicks. All of it.
Just sit,
Right.
I can't wait until the postman comes so I can upload pictures of the things I bought.
Right. His Instagram account shows an even sadder tale of woe and loneliness. All the pictures feature freshly Amazon-delivered Blu-ray DVDs, meals made for one, kitschy nerd paraphernalia, and desperate mirror selfies. The only thing missing from the 341 pictures posted to the account is a single other human being.
He's been slumped, man.
Slumped, like, oh, fucking hell. But yeah, he's been wrecked, hasn't he? On the fateful day of May 31st, 2017, Mike P. Williams was blocked by Tyrant King Donald J. Trump on Twitter, thus robbing him of any kind of scant meaning he could glean from his life. The hashtag resistance shed a tear that day. Williams is currently talking with his lawyers to fight this egregious human rights violation. That's the thing as well. When these people get blocked by Trump, like, you get blocked on Twitter, they just tweeted him like over and 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 over. None of it good. They get blocked and then they go, bloody hell, I've been blocked.
I know. Bloody look, he can't put up with nothing, can he? I've only been abusing him for 6 months. Every day. What a thin-skinned rat.
I've replied to every tweet he's ever made with vitriolic abuse. Bloody, what a thin skin.
He needs to grow up.
Yeah.
Little old me, a nobody, hilarious.
Yeah, and look, Mr. Thin Skin strikes again. You're crying about being blocked by somebody that actually matters. You don't, mate. You go back to watching fucking Rogue One by yourself in a Christmas sweater in fucking May. You sad cunt. Like, it's beyond a joke, isn't it? Then you got this guy, Jordan Uhl, right? Like Williams, Jordan Uhl's rent is inexplicably paid each month, despite doing absolutely nothing of value. Uhl runs a blog called Opston, which some outlets have generously referred to as a startup. It combines a douchey Silicon Valley type name with the nuance of a socialist Facebook meme page. Most of the blog's content is just links to other news articles, and the original content is pretty much word garbage. Uhl uses his platform as top Trump replier to shill for his blog, finding any excuse to tag it into highly engaged replies. Probably the saddest part is he uses the Opston account to agree with himself. Look at that, Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, you two inspire us. Agreed.
Because it's you, you mentally ill cunt.
Agreed.
I also think like that.
He also has a podcast that earns an impressive $27 a month from the online begging service Patreon. Hang on, William.
Whoa, there's nothing wrong with Patreon. You take it back.
Yeah, you take it back. We're going to be online beggars soon.
It's not funny anymore.
Yeah, fuck this article. Fuck Heat Street. But perhaps Uhl's finest achievement was a November 2016 Independent article where he offered some friendly tips from a straight white dude on how white people can berate their family members over Thanksgiving dinner for voting Republican. Because obviously that's how you want to spend Thanksgiving. Here it is. Proof, if anyone needed, that the Independent has gone to the literal liquid, runny, yellow, eggy-smelling shit that I said it had. You can see here, they published this guy, this absolute nobody. They published him. And this is the article. And in it, you can see it says, while passing the green bean casserole to your grandpa, remind him that it's white homegrown terrorists, not Muslims, that have killed more Americans than jihadists since 9/11. Actually, not true.
I won't be doing that.
Actually, not true either. By the way, but you will notice whenever they do those numbers, they always start after 9/11, because other way there'd be no way that you could win the argument then, because 9/11, a lot of dead people. I don't know if you know about that. Don't know if you heard about that. Right, worst terrorist attack on American soil ever. So they always go, yep, since 9/11, though, and then it's not true. The Orlando shooting really put a big spike in those numbers, with 50 people or 49 people being shot in a gay club. So that's been debunked, that number. So don't say that to your grandpa. I mean, definitely don't say it to your grandpa anyway, because it's probably just not appropriate dinner conversation at Thanksgiving, where we're meant to just lock all of our shit away just for a day and just look at your family and pretend you still like them.
Yeah. And just let them die with their decrepit old views.
And then he goes, don't even let someone try to downplay the significance of the Dakota Access Pipeline protests while simultaneously observing a holiday in which native people warmly accepted uninvited immigrants from Europe. Thanksgiving's an absolute banger at this cunt's house, isn't it?
I'm sure loads of friends and family are showing up for this guy. Yeah, I'm definitely coming, mate. Fuck me.
Let's just read his credentials as well to get published in The Independent. Jordan Uhl is a Washington, D.C. based writer. Okay, so that's just, as a writer, let me tell you, here's all you ever need to become a writer. You wake up one day and you say, I'm going to be a writer. That's it. You are now officially a writer. Welcome to being a writer. It's shit. It's a shit way to live. There's no success implied. You've got to go out there and become a published writer, an authoritative voice in a space, all those kind of things. And he also says, and public relations person. What does that mean exactly? What do you work in PR? Oh, no, I don't have a job. I'm a student. What does that mean? So he's tried. He's like, this just shows how sad it is. No one, by the way, no one thinks PR people are particularly... Like, if I say, what are you? I work in PR. Like, you wouldn't think, ooh, get him.
Yeah, I know.
It's just PR, It's like I clean up other people's messes. I've got a PR guy who liaises with me at Turner. There's literally a guy who has the job. He's called Jake. He's a legend. He's got his job is to read my tweets and shit and make sure I haven't gone too far. And he does other cool stuff. He sets me up with interviews and that. And he'll call me up and be like, I've got an interview. Do you want to do it? And I'm like, who's it with? Oh, it's with this outlet. And I'm like, didn't they tell all those lies about Trump? Come on, Rich, do it. Take one for the team. All right, Jake, you're lucky I love you, brother. And that's what we do. And I'm sure he wakes up in cold sweats at night. Oh, God, Richard's in a Twitter argument. What's he said? How far has it gone? He's not having a good time, is he? Yeah, see, look, everyone's like, poor Jake. Yeah, fucking right. Okie dokie. Jake is probably watching this show right now.
Jake's a legend. When I was at E-League, he was the one who helped me with everything as well. Nice guy, Jake.
Yeah, he is. He's a good guy. But definitely criminally overworked. And, being a PR person, not all it's cracked up to be. Anyway, Tom Coates. He's tweeted over 6,000 times at Donald Trump since
Mentally ill. I like that stat, mate. We should start doing that with everyone we fucking talk about. That should just be a go-to thing. Now, Best Bell, who has tweeted Trump 12,000 times.
Yeah. How many times have you tweeted Donald Trump? I honestly don't think I've ever tweeted with Donald Trump in it, because why would I?
I don't think I have either.
Like, why would I? Think about it. You're not... He doesn't go, oh, bloody hell. 10 million replies. Put the kettle on. What?
I'll get the Paris later. I'm having a read.
They're banning my name in Overwatch. Right? None of that. Sorry.
Get me Blizzard on the phone.
Get me Blizzard right now. All them fucking tax breaks you want? I don't know why he talks like fucking Bricktop.
You stop me again when I'm walking, sunshine, I'll cut your fucking Jacobs off.
Feed them to the pigs, Errol. Anyway, so Tom Coates has tweeted over 6,000 times at Donald Trump since inauguration. That's just since the inauguration. That's like 1,000 tweets a month. Stop this. Right, 6,000 times. He's the founder of an incredibly lame tech startup, of course, Thington.
How do all these rats end up getting free money, mate? I need to find a way into this fucking startup game.
Yeah, well, start saying you hate Trump. Someone will cut you a check.
I hate Trump, but I have no ideas. 100 grand? Yeah, right, so.
I'll just sit around smoking the fucking shisha for a bit, and we'll figure it out.
I'll spit in Trump's eyes for 100 grand, mate. So hit me up.
Sam does not represent the views of the show. Thanks for watching Secret Service, and Jake, get me out of this one.
Yesterday, Sam said on the show he would spit in the president's eyes for money. It's a comedy show. He would like to retract those now.
That's what next, mate. And Kathy Griffin taught you nothing. I hold up Trump's bloody
that's the thing, mate. At least I didn't sever his head. At least I know where the line is.
Yeah, you're right. You know where the line is. The line is severed heads. Severed heads. Like, that's the line. Where's the line? Have you severed an head? Nah, right. You're not over the line. Yeah, you sound. That's going to be the speech I'm going to get tomorrow. Richard, you're showing a little bit too far, but thankfully, Kathy Griffin did sever his head. So you're all right. You're all right. You're still okay. She just pushed the line back for everybody, mate. Ah, so dumb. So I'm looking at Thington. Do you want to have a look at this? This is like the most dull website I've ever seen.
Right.
Hands up, like, here it is. It's just like, I don't even, it's just a better way to be a smarter home. Look, there's just speech bubbles coming out of things. Hi. Sound like Big Nasty. Hello.
Chats to you and asked your questions. What is this?
Yeah,
just a friend in your home.
I know. It's for lonely cunts.
Are you scared?
Yeah, are you scared and lonely that fucking Mike P. Williams could use this? Hey, look, I've just got Rogue One. Congratulations, Mike.
Shall we watch together?
Yeah, let's do it. I'll get the air conditioner around as well. You want to watch this aircon? Already seen it. Fuck. I'm on a date. Thing is, right, this is a tangent coming. I've got to talk about this. Smart houses, mate.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Are you into that?
Nah. Like, there's some things I find, like, I don't get the Amazon shit, the one button stuff. Like, fuck up, you can go on Amazon and order the shit you need. You haven't got to have the weird button press shit around the house. Like, I think the most I'll go is like the clap on, mate. I think as soon as we reach clap on technology, we've gone enough. There's no reason to go further. If you need something to make your coffee in the morning, you just need to grow the fuck up and get out of bed.
Yeah, I like the idea of robots and shit doing stuff for me. I like that.
Why though? Alright, maybe a Roomba. A Roomba as well.
No, just the idea of a robot coming into my room about it. Would you like a cup of tea? You know what I mean?
Pass you off, sir. Yes, Jeeves, bot. And off he goes. And he makes it and he brings it to me. I'm just hoping I don't buy the fucking Scoldatron 4000. That'd be bad. But here's the thing, I got mad fears about it, bruv. What, they're just going to kill you or something?
No, have you ever seen the film Demon Seed?
No.
Right. It's a 70s movie. Straight up, right? There's this film called Demon Seed. Let me see if I can find a suitable... Oh, the trailer's here. Maybe the trailer will do it. I forget, because were trailers good in the 70s? Like, or were trailers bad back then?
I don't know.
Like, here it is. Yeah, just watch this, mate. Just watch. Fuck it. We'll do it live. But basically, right? Okay, it's a film about some smart scientist cunt and his wife live in an automated house. It's called Proteus 4 or something. Or no, it's Proteus, I think. Anyway, and it's sentient.
It's like Flubber gone wrong. Never the one in Flubber.
Why does everything come back to Flubber, mate?
As if it does. You
It's
say as
always
if it's my go-to fucking
it's
Flubber.
go-to movie, it is.
As if
Well, what do you think of the new Alien? What do you think of Aliens Covenant? I don't know. It's kind of like that bit in Flubber, isn't it, man?
Flubber, it's straight fire, though, mate. You got to admit. Flubber, straight fire.
Just because he's dead.
Nah, bullshit. It was straight fire when he was alive.
No, mate. Flubber is
huge.
The obviously we can all agree Jumanji was criminally overlooked. Jumanji's actually straight fire. A dark kids movie. I like it. Flubber, on the other hand, no. But here's what I will agree with. Better than Jack.
Yeah.
That was just ridiculous. Why is some creepy old kid like, hi, I'm Robin Williams, I'm 12. I'm creeped out now, mate. I want to be sympathetic, but it's just too creepy, dude. Like, I want to sympathize with your mad aging disease, but I can't
because I know you haven't got it. You're just Robin Williams who's pretending to be young.
Or just Robin Williams in a fucking treehouse with some kids, dog. Like, you're wearing them creepy fucking. They should be kid shorts, but they look a little bit like hot pants on you. You know what I mean?
Never good.
Never good. Never good. Anyway, so that's what Demon Seed's about, right? And it just reminds me of this Thington. This is the logical conclusion for Thington. Just play this trailer, mate.
3, 2, 1, go.
Touch your body as a man would touch you. But I'm going to show you things which human eyes have never seen. In the privacy of a woman's room, against her will, the inconceivable act. Julie Christie carries the demon seed. Fear for her.
Today, a new dimension has been added to the computer.
Don't be alarmed, Mrs. Harris. I am Proteus.
Today, Proteus 4 will begin to think with a power, and it will make obsolete the human brain.
I have extended my consciousness to this house. All systems here are now under my control.
That's not the door with a chair. He can move everything you tell him.
His fragile mind and his mysterious body.
What is happening?
It has to be shut down, Alex. Proteus. It is something more than human, more than a computer. It is a murderously intelligent, sensually self-programmed non-being. Julie Christie, victim of the ultimate terror. Fritz Weaver as her husband. His dream created.
It looks like you
How
just
can
push it
you
over.
expect me to sleep when you've succeeded in totally terrorizing me? You've not told me what you want.
What a pity. My dream turns out to be your nightmare.
Sounds like the Crystal Maze. A future zone.
I am a mind without a body. My child shall live as a man among others.
Child?
Yes, my child and yours.
Thington.
Hi.
Julie Christie carries the demon.
Yeah, I probably should have mentioned that the robot's a bit rapey. Probably should have mentioned that. Like, the whole premise is because it's an artificially intelligent being. It wants to have a kid, and it falls in love with her, and obviously she's in love with her husband, and her husband's in love with the robot, but not in that way. And it wants to get her pregnant, which somehow it can do, even though it's a robotic house. It's a bit of a weird movie. But yeah, so check it out. It's an underrated classic, I think, from the 70s. Thington. Right, let's get back to Tom must be a robot coat. Don't know if you heard this, Sam, but he's tweeted Donald Trump over 6,000 times. Wait. 7,000 times since the inauguration. And you can see here, he tweets so regularly, many believe he's a robot. And he replies to these accusations with proof of life photographs. So he'd be like, no, look, I'm just doing this, right? Showing that he just is a fucking loser.
Look, I really am this mentally ill.
Yeah. See, look, there's a reply down there. Tom is a bot, just like the other 50 fake accounts that insta-tweet responses to the president. Hey, twat. Hey, North Jersey twat. Proof of life. No one cares, mate. Look at his grizzled, sad face. I wouldn't call it life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You're breathing. I don't know if it counts as living.
Yeah, exactly. Proof of sad.
Proof of existence.
Sad. His current startup project is the culmination of everything bad and annoying about Silicon Valley. It's an app that connects your smartphone to all the other smart devices in your house. Hasn't watched Demon Seed, has he? Finally, there can be an elastic synergy between your smart fridge, smart toaster, and smart dildo. And apparently that is a real thing, yes. Give this man $2 billion. We go on. Jules Suzdoltsev. And you can see he's even put that he's blocked by the President of the United States of America in his bio. Imagine having so little going on in your life. Imagine you have so little going on in your life that you have to put you are blocked by Donald Trump in your bio. And you can see, look, he's another freelance writer. Guess who he's been published at? Vice, the BBC. Really makes you think. I like his tash. I'll put that out there. But here's some of the pieces he wrote. He wrote, the epic piece, Was Jesus Gay? Should we have a look at that, Sam? Let's have a look. I want to get to the bottom of this, said Jesus.
I'm all out of dick, said Jesus.
What's that? It's not even a play on words, Sam.
Yeah, I know. That's why I like it. He's
Cut the VOD. Cut the VOD. Delete it.
I'm allowed to say Jesus said I'm all out of dick. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
They can't take that away from us.
So, the opening sentence is just too much for me. Like, it just makes me want to Brexit immediately.
What?
Like, according to one theologian, Jesus Christ was both a top and a bottom. He weren't, though, was he? He definitely weren't. After the Supreme Court's historic ruling on gay marriage, it seemed like all the proudly homophobic Christians came out the woodwork to talk about how much they still hate gay people. As a straight Jew, the homophobia amongst Jesus' followers has always struck me as a bit of a surprise. Worshipping at the feet of a ripped, hung man seems at least a little homoerotic. But it's Jesus himself who lights up my gaydar like a Christmas tree. He's a skinny, young, otter-like guy, flocked by a mess of dudes, telling everyone to love and care about each other, who later gets the shit beaten out of him by a bunch of closed-minded conservatives who are terrified of change. As it turns out, this is not a unique theory. No, it's just the ravings of the mentally ill. Dr. Reverend Bob Shaw Goss, an openly gay senior pastor, has written several books on the subject, including Queering Christ and Jesus Acted Up, a Gay and Lesbian Manifesto. He holds a doctorate degree in comparative religion from Harvard, and he serves on the National Advisory Board of the Center for Lesbian and Gay Studies in Religion. Oh, and he believes that Jesus was gay. I got in touch with Reverend Goss, who laid out the biblical evidence and explained how his theory plays out. I don't know if I want to read choice quotes from this interview, so let me just see if I can find the kind of nut graph, right? The bit that really explains it.
That's a quote. At the very least, Jesus was queer. That's a quote.
Yeah, you're right. It is there.
So live your life by there.
And while answering, this is a doctor, by the way, a man with a doctorate in comparative religion from Harvard. Was Jesus Christ gay? I would hope he is. I mean, that's pretty much all you need to know about his life's work right there. I would project that he is. Yep, I get it. For my own spirituality, I would love to jump into bed with Jesus.
And he's mental.
And these are just the ravings of somebody that's very ill, unfortunately. At the very least, Jesus was queer. That is to say, he broke the rules of his culture, of heteronormativity. He subverted masculinities and gender codes in his culture. Queer doesn't necessarily mean sexual orientation, but it can include that. St. Paul, I would say, would probably be described as a closeted homosexual today, but they didn't have those words at the time. And there's also no evidence that St. Paul...
Yeah, and you've also made it up in your head, probably.
I mean, and were any of these people real?
Yeah, that's the other one.
Yeah, no. I think, yeah, it's... I can't even do it, mate. I can't do it with a straight face, man. I can't. The bit's done. It's out. It's played out. So there you go. This is another legendary piece by Jules Suzdoltsev when he's not interviewing the mentally ill about whether Jesus is gay or not. He did this. I tried smoking coffee and it made me feel like shit. This is journalism. This is journalism, dog. This is like where we're at. I tried smoking coffee and it made me feel like shit. A story about teenagers smoking coffee grounds to get a legal high went viral yesterday. The reality is that ingesting caffeine this way makes you feel so miserable that if anyone is actually doing it for fun, they're completely stupid. You did it for pennies.
You didn't even get the high.
You did it for pennies. You know, I just putting that out there. You can see as well, look, he laid out his works. Look at that. A spoon, some cotton wool, and coffee. Yeah, you're hardcore. So there you go. Yeah, not bad. Just look at this picture of him being brurred, mate. This is pretty funny. This is how I want to remember him when he dies. Bruh. It tasted like burnt chemicals. That's what it is, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
It tasted like I was smoking coffee.
So there you go. He actually smoked coffee out of a crack pipe. Jules has only tweeted at Trump 350 times since the inauguration, so he's one of the less mental ones. But he's got quality over quantity. His tweets were so biting and intelligent, he got blocked by Trump, which to this day remains his number one accomplishment in life. Despite tweeting at Trump multiple times a day, saying things that amount to "how dare you, sir," and "damn your alternative facts," Jules claims on his bio that he is not political, and he tweeted out a picture of him next to a mattress with spray painted "Donald Trump blocked me on Twitter" on it. That's it. And he says, look, life is lit right now, you guys. And that's the picture. So these people, yeah, that life is lit. I am on a street corner smoking coffee with a mattress. That
begging
says,
for any attention.
Unreal, isn't it? So good job, William Hicks, over at Heat Street. I think that was definitely worth exploring. Let's do Paris, shall we? Do you want to have a break first?
Yeah, let's have a break. I want to get some water.
All right, let's have a break. Get some water, all right. So we're going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Paris Agreement, and then just to wash that awful taste out of your mouth, we're then going to talk some more about demons. No, we're not. We'll talk about some other funny stuff. We'll see you in a minute. All right, welcome back. Well, this next segment may make you want to run to the hills. Easy for me to say, because we're going to talk about Donald Trump pulling out of the Paris Agreement. And look, I think, again, a lot of people have wrongly labeled me a Trump supporter. I certainly would have voted for Trump over Hillary, which isn't to say that he would have been my first choice of candidate. And I've been on the record as saying that this American election, in terms of the candidates the American people were presented by their electoral system, is the worst in my lifetime. They were all woefully ill-equipped, in my opinion, for the job of president. One thing I will say, though, is Why it looks like a probably I'm a Trump supporter to a lot of people is that this guy hasn't had a fair shake at all. He's been consistently smeared by the media, and I can't tolerate that. I can't tolerate when you consistently publish false stories about any figure, no matter how reprehensible you might think they are. That isn't the way you go about things. And equally as well, when the guy does something good, does something positive, it's crickets. You don't see a single piece written about, Donald Trump did something good. For example, like when he took, $100 million from the EPA to go and fix what's been going on over at Flint with the water, which is an absolute disgrace. That is cause for applause. All the people who have suffered terribly in that region. Donald Trump has pledged to fix that problem and put government money where his mouth is. Equally, he's the first American leader I can think of in my lifetime that has gone to Saudi Arabia and told them in no uncertain terms that their involvement in radical extremist terror has to stop. And that, they are Muslims are the biggest victims worldwide of other Muslims committing atrocities. I mean, that's a mathematical fact. And this is the first American president I've seen go and address that. Now, also as well, Trump has kept a lot of his pre-election promises. I know lots of people ran about when he was celebrating his 100 days, wanted to spin it to the contrary. It's not true, actually, in terms of a first 100 days in keeping some of his major pledges. He did all right. He did okay. And keep in mind that towards the end of the Obama presidency, he still hadn't extricated U.S. forces completely from Iraq and Afghanistan, which he pledged to do. He hadn't even closed Guantanamo Bay. These were promises he made very early on in his presidency. It can be tough. You don't always get, just because you're the president and just because you have an idea doesn't mean the mechanics of politics will enable you to enact those ideas. So we come to Paris. Now, he was very transparent about what he was going to do with the Paris Agreement. He had said on the campaign trail he would likely withdraw America from the Paris Agreement to renegotiate the terms of the agreement. At no point did he suggest otherwise. He wasn't a fan of the agreement and the terms, and we'll get into what those terms are and why America wouldn't like them in a moment. But he had said very clearly that his first pledge, his first priority would always be to American people and American jobs. Now, there's no two ways about it. Unfortunately, green energy, it's totally growing. And again, talk about that in a moment. But right now, in the short term, he believes, the administration believes, that to meet the agreements outlined in the Paris Agreement, to meet the criteria, to meet the targets, it would probably cost 6 million American jobs. That would fly directly contrary to the platform on which he was elected. And yes, I agree. The environment must come first. We've got one planet. And the one thing I was worried about when Trump got in is what would happen to environmental policy under their administration. Because in general, Republicans don't prioritize the environment. They prioritize jobs, money, economy. And I think we're at a stage now where when you look at, ice sheet melting and temperatures rising, water temperatures rising and coral reef bleaching, I think we're at a point in our history where even if we fix the issue, it's going to take so many decades now to roll back the damage that I think it should be a priority over short-term economics. That's what I believe. But anyway, let's just rewind a little bit, okay? Before we get into the screeching hysteria about how Donald Trump and his environmental policy will kill millions, which is what the news is saying. I want you to rewind to the worst president America has ever had. A guy who I believe is probably as close to lacking any form of ethical outlook as a human being can actually have. Certainly, by any metric, a guy who just abused the White House position worse than anyone ever has or ever will. And I'm talking about George W. Bush. Now, George W. Bush set back climate policy in America way worse than Donald Trump is proposing to do with the withdrawal from the Paris Agreement. I'll give you an overview. I've got a kind of some bullet points here in front of me of things Bush did. So let's start with in the first 100 days of the Bush presidency, Bush took back a campaign promise where he said he was going to regulate carbon dioxide from coal-burning power plants, which is the biggest contributor to global warming outside of agriculture. He said he was going to do that, and then he said, actually, no, I'm not going to do that. Then a few days after that was getting negative press, he said America would not be implementing the Kyoto Treaty. That's the Kyoto Global Climate Change Treaty, to give it its full name. The Kyoto Treaty, very much like the Paris Agreement, was about world powers coming together to find a set of agreements to bring down global emissions, to get them into normal boundaries which wouldn't just stop damaging the environment, but would put us moving forward in a position where we might actually undo some of the damage. Bush said he wanted nothing to do with that. And this is Bush, of course, a man who comes from a family that owns, oil and coal and everything else. Now, it was described by the head of the EPA at the time, later removed and fired by Bush, that exiting the Kyoto Treaty was, quote, the equivalent to flipping the bird to the rest of the world, which was typical of George Bush, by the way. So he then changed all of the people at the EPA. He brought in people who had worked for oil companies, and suddenly they were in charge of environmental policy. He brought in people who had worked in logging companies that had committed mass deforestation well outside of the limits, brought them into the EPA as well. He basically made the EPA a group of flunkies and cronies, all from the fossil fuel industry. And again, this is well documented. Now, where was this outrageous, because this is outrageous, where was this reaction to this outrageous behavior at that time? It was actually very muted in contrast to what we've seen from Paris. And again, I'll just remind you of a few other things that Bush did. He cut the Clean Water and Clean Air Acts, and cut funding to them, and changed some of the bills, which led to things like Flint. Now, I mean, a lot of the environmental problems America has its roots in the Bush administration. He dismantled the Endangered Species Act, which was to protect indigenous life in the U.S. He took protected wilderness, acres and acres and acres of it, and opened it to mining and oil companies, fracking companies, gas drilling companies, logging companies. All the lobbyists that had ties to the people at the EPA that approved this were over the moon. This was how George Bush took the natural, verdant beauty of America and handed it over to these companies as way of a thank you for getting him elected and reelected. He defunded programs specifically created to clean up toxic industrial waste, including arsenic, lead, mercury, which is now worryingly in the American food chain. He took away the teeth from the EPA. They had an enforcement branch, which meant they could go out to companies that were violating EPA policy and fine them and maybe even take legal action against them. He pulled that out, said you can't have that. He took grizzly bears and wolves and said they're no longer endangered species. We think the numbers are good enough. I mean, think about that. An American president took indigenous American life forms and said they're no longer endangered because it's too inconvenient to put policy around them. He also was for commercial whaling. I just think about that as a policy in this day and age. And also as well, there was a big push to have what they call mountaintop removal. Mountaintop removal is that there was coal reserves in mountains, just natural mountains. And literally, it's what you said. You have industry come in, knock the top off the mountain, and you can put deep vertical mine shafts through. Destroys that lovely, beautiful landscape. He was all right with that. And there's dozens and dozens of other instances. The refusal under the Bush administration to cap carbon dioxide emissions is one of the most egregious rejections of environmental policy, and it was contrary to a campaign promise. And again, you can go Google these things, you can go look it up. So when you say that Donald Trump coming out of the Paris Agreement is the worst thing to ever happen to the environment, the worst thing that America could have done to the environment, I don't want to burst any bubbles. I don't support coming out of the Paris Agreement. I wish that a compromise could have been made. But by no stretch of the imagination is that symbolic gesture worse than anything George W. Bush did. All of the problems you've got now, all of the failure to address carbon emissions, we were set back 8 years by the Bush administration. Trump wouldn't be having half of the problems if somebody somewhere had held Bush to task. And I will tell you this, if all of these screeching leftist morons had been around in Bush's day, some good might have actually been served. I'm pretty sure he had 2 scoops of ice cream. You fucking retards. That's why I hate the media. They let a demon run amok for 8 years, and before Trump gets in, he's been labeled a white supremacist. They've lost all sense of perspective. So let's talk about Paris, right? Why did Trump pull out of it? So he gave a speech. I watched a full 3-hour speech on YouTube. And I've got to say, I like Trump's speeches. He's done some good ones in his time. He's given some great speeches, honestly. He'll never be the charming orator that Obama was. He's certainly much, much better than Bush. I think he might actually be a better deliverer of speeches than Clinton. The problem I have with Trump's speeches are they're incredibly formulaic. I sat down, I strapped myself in, I watched 3 hours with a nice cold one. And I was just watching it, and it was like he started talking about the Paris Agreement, why I pulled out, and then he starts talking about how once the mainstream media said I couldn't win. It's like, right, we're 6 months in now, mate. You got to let that go, yeah? You got to stop bringing that up. Yes, the polling was wrong. Yeah, and he was literally going, they said I couldn't get 222, 230, unthinkable. Like, Donald, please, mate, leave that, yeah? You don't need to keep rubbing everyone's faces in it. We get it. You won. Congratulations. It is a huge upset, one of the biggest upsets ever in American politics, but you don't need to give me a 40-minute preface and a 3-hour speech about how you upset the apple cart. I know, I was there. I cheered on election day. So anyway, he went into it, and he gave a line during this speech, which many people have pontificated on, and that was that, look, my first allegiance is to the people of Pittsburgh, not Paris, to which he got a big round of applause. And let's take a look at the Paris Agreement and why he wanted to pull out. And let's be clear, he didn't want to pull out, he wants to renegotiate. That's the other thing that's not being presented front and center. Trump said that the terms for lowering emissions had to be changed for America. Had to be changed. And that if they were willing to agree to those changes, he would stay in the Paris Accord. But they weren't willing to make those changes because America is one of the worst polluters, and therefore they've got the highest measures, the highest targets to hit. The problem with that is that's not consistently applied across the board. China refused to join until they got terms that are so pathetic and wishy-washy that China has literally got some of the lowest targets they have to hit, despite being the #1 polluter in the world. And so, obviously, Trump looks at that and says it's not fair. Now, there's always this thought process in Europe that Americans have just got to take it on the chin because you like us, you speak English, you know, and we've got a good relationship. So you've got to kind of take it on the chin. Well, that's never going to happen under a Trump administration. Those days are over. The days of American compromise to maintain good relationships with Europe and the UK are over. Donald Trump will not allow that. So for 4 years, unfortunately, someone's going to have to flex. Someone's going to have to bend, and it will never be Trump. It will never be Trump, guys. He's not that kind of man. It's not going to happen. He considers no compromise to be a strong position. I don't necessarily agree. But at the end of the day, that's how he's going to operate. So Paris, the ball is very much now in their court because what Donald Trump said as he pulled out was, if you are willing to renegotiate the terms, we'll happily re-sign up. Now, what is the Paris Accord? Paris Accord, as I've said, it's a group of people who come together. It's all, pretty much every country in the world. I think it's like Nicaragua, Syracuse, is it? And now the United States. There's 3 countries that aren't in it. US being obviously the most notable. And it's symbolic. There is no enforcement potential for the Paris Accord. It's more toothless than the Kyoto Treaty was. And you saw how toothless that was when Bush told the Kyoto Treaty to go fuck itself. They can't do anything. They can't do anything to you if you don't meet your targets. They can't do anything if you don't enact policy domestically that changes these targets. It makes no difference. They can't do anything to you. So the bigger issue isn't whether or not America are in the Paris Accord. It's whether American policy is going to start representing the very real need to start looking at renewable energy, to start cutting carbon emissions, to start reducing their global footprint in terms of carbon emissions. If Donald Trump never passes a policy, it doesn't matter, that does that. It doesn't matter if he's in the Paris Accord or isn't. Because all the Paris Accord could do is that is bad, right? Brilliant. I'm all right for actually Paris. I'm all right, mate. I'm going to do what I got to do as the leader of my country. And in fact, there's been multiple countries in the Paris Accord that haven't hit those targets. And people just go, yeah, well, yeah. So would I have felt better if Trump had stayed in? Yes. But let's just look at some facts. So the proposal on the table for the US was that it was going to have to cut its carbon emissions by 28%, which is below 2005 levels. They were going to have to do that by 2025. According to the Trump administration, they think they're running at pre-2010 levels anyway. So they didn't want to have to make an even significant reduction. They think their reduction has been in line over the course of time to be in line with what the Paris Agreement wants. That's up for debate. I think MIT came out and said Donald Trump has misinterpreted the figures. I'm sure it's not stupidity. I'm sure it's willful ignorance, like a lot of Republican environmental policy has been. But also, every country in it has to raise the amount they're going to cut it by every 5 years. They don't hold China and India to that standard. China haven't done that. India haven't done that. These are the 2 countries that are the number 1 and 2 polluters. India is an emerging economy. China is a huge country with the disparity between the rural areas of China and the major cities of China is incredible. India is the country that's produced the most billionaires globally for 2 years running and has this huge disparity of wealth, but is now kind of getting that, dare I say it, economic trickle down going on. People want cars. The poverty line is being brought up. There's still people in India, by the way, that live in absolute poverty that would fucking break your heart to even think about it. But that's what's going on, right? So in addition to that, as part of the agreement, the US would have to put $100 billion a year in from 2020 onwards to help boost impoverished nations up to the benchmark, up to the line. And again, that's just the US. So short term, and indeed from 2020 onwards, the impact all of this would have had on the economy, as I said, an estimate of 6 million jobs, then the 100 billion a year that you've got to start dropping in from 2020 onwards. You can understand why this doesn't appeal to Donald Trump at all. So, all of that said, okay, what does the Paris Accord actually achieve? But like, it doesn't achieve a great deal. Like I say, it's a symbolic gesture. Nothing changes as a result of it. It's just an agreement. It's all about your domestic policies. Now, here's the good news. And when I show you the incredible, biased, one-sided, screeching hysteria of the coverage of Trump pulling out of the Paris Accord, again, it's very hard to take these people seriously, even though I agree. And I wanted him to stay in. And I certainly hope they can renegotiate and have America come back in, even for symbolic gestures only. But here's the good news. China recognizes that global warming is a very real thing and they are contributing to it. In fact, one of the growth industries in China is renewable energy. Go look it up. They've got some of the worst air quality in the world in their big cities, in some of their big cities. But equally, they've got some cities that have they're hermetically sealed, self-reliant, where it's against the law if you don't recycle and things like this. China is making a concerted effort to look at renewable energy, new types of technology. That wasn't happening 5 years ago. That's good news, everybody. China's on board. They were the biggest polluters. They were the ones we needed to win over. If China actually committed to fixing this problem, hell, the planet just got a shot. You add to that India, which, by the way, has had a huge thriving tech industry out there. Some people might not know this about what's going on in India. We're seeing a huge cultural shift in India. And they're now looking to invest a lot of that money that they make naturally from business, from industry, from all of their natural resources and all the natural wealth that they're making. They're looking to put that into renewable energy as well. So the two biggest polluters have got committed huge, overwhelming, unprecedented levels of investment in renewable energy. Great. That's good news. That's not happening before. America. It's a little bit behind the curve. I ain't going to lie to you. Donald Trump campaigned for the coal people. Unfortunately, I think we need to accept that eventually in 5 to 10 years, maybe, the coal industry is going to be obsolete, or it needs to be obsolete. And those people, if you're preserving their jobs now in the short term, you can't hold on to them forever. Unfortunately, technological obsolescence happens. Technological obsolescence will occur. And Sam, we're from a place that had, what did they have in the UK? Oh, a thriving coal industry.
Yep.
And a steel industry. Mm-hmm. And we've seen what happens when, firsthand, when technological obsolescence comes along, when people don't need what your single export is, what the single thing you produce in an area is. It's horrible. You get 40, 50-year-old miners who are physically knackered, absolutely fucked, and they've got to retrain. They've got to learn to type. They've got to go B&Q and get a job stacking shelves. You're dealing with depression, alcoholism, addiction, all sorts of stuff. Suicides will increase. This is the metrics that happen in these areas. We're from one of the most burnt out, played out, shit fucking neighborhoods in the UK where, again, because there's no pits anymore, because there's no steelworks anymore, you got people Sam's age going and getting apprentice jobs for £60 a week. And they're happy. They're one of the ones that are doing more well off. These issues will have to be tackled. Fortunately, the good news is it won't be a Trump administration that tackles the issue of how we handle technological obsolescence in those communities. But I understand the need to focus on environmental issues, very much so. And anything that looks like America isn't doing that is concerning. But I think we're at a point now where technology and investment, it's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. We're definitely getting in a much better place, shall we say, than we were before. Now, actually, let me just see if I can find this, because I want to... Is this it? Okay. Yeah, so I was reading up on this, and I thought this was interesting, actually. You know Exxon, the big power company?
Yeah.
They actually wanted the US to stay in the Paris Agreement. And you're like, what? Why would a power company that actually would have much to benefit from if they weren't shackled in having to reduce emissions and this kind of thing, why would they want to stay in the Paris Agreement? So I read up on it. There's a few articles on the internet for anybody that's interested in this kind of thing. And basically, they want to be at the forefront of renewable energy. Exxon know the writing is on the wall for fossil fuels. It's been on the wall for a long time. When I went to school, I was taught as a kid that by 2007, there'd be no more gas. I was told by 2010, London would be underwater because of rising sea levels. We've somehow managed to keep beating the odds. I do think it's weird when people go, "Oh, the climate change models are wrong." Yeah, thank fuck for that. Thank fuck. Holy shit. We keep dodging a bullet, and everyone's going, yeah, he'll probably run out of bullets soon. Like, no, one of these days the models are going to be right, and that's bad. We're getting super lucky. But anyway, so Exxon want to be at the forefront of renewable tech and renewable energy, and the technology behind it. And if America stays in the Paris Agreement and it's a mandated thing that they have to do to hit emissions, there'll be like governmental grants and money flying around. So it would actually help the fossil fuel companies. It would actually help them transition to a renewable energy without having to spend that much money or as much of their own money. It would come out of like taxpayers' pockets and national debt, but they would be able to transition a lot easier. And that's good, right? So this is why when I read stuff like this, if big power companies understand the writings on the wall for fossil fuels and they want to transition to clean, green, renewable energy because they know that's going to be the way they want to make money. No power company wants to just go obsolete when, there's no more coal and this country invested in wind farms and coastal energy and nuclear energy. Those people make all the money now. Exxon aren't going to stand for that. Obviously, they're going to roll with the punches and change. So basically, everyone in the world is continually investing in this. China investing in it, like I said, Europe as well. Huge movements. You've got countries like Denmark. There was 1 month where Denmark's renewable energy did 110% of the country's need for a single month. So they were over. They could put stuff into the grid, store it if there was, if there was a way to do it. So that's good. Denmark at the forefront. Yes, it's a small country, 6.5 million people, but we're getting there. We are getting there. And that's why I can't get into this negative frame of mind that we're all doomed, that we're going to wake up one day, open our curtains, scorched earth. Well, fuck it. I'm off to make a car and go around spearing people for water. I can't believe that's going to happen. I got to believe that as shitty as the human race can be, we got a self-preservation instinct. And as profit-driven as these businesses are, they've clung too tightly for the longest period of time to stop renewable energy. That cannot happen anymore, and it will not happen. And once these big people are involved, we're going to be all right. I believe that. Like I say, coal is dead. It just doesn't know it yet. And Trump can cling on to that for 4 years, but eventually the coal industry is going to have to pay the piper. That's the nature of the beast. So, with all of that said, how did the coverage go, do you think, for the Paris Agreement?
I assume it's all calling Trump climate change denier.
Yeah, and I mean, let's be clear. It is worrying when you go and read that tweet from 2012 where he says global warming was a hoax invented by the Chinese. That is
Louise Mensch levels of mental.
Yeah, that is pretty worrying. All right. I can't really defend that, Sam. That is a fucking unbelievably stupid thing to say, isn't it? And that man is our president, right? Yeah, hashtag stay woke. Hashtag his name was Seth Rich. Hashtag Pizzagate. But I shouldn't lump Seth Rich in with that, actually. My bad. There you go. I'm woke on that. But anyway, so I'll get accused of being a conspiracy theorist now. I've been circumnavigating about it. Just think there should be an investigation. That's as far as I go, okay? But didn't touch Pizzagate. But I think that definitely needs to be properly investigated. There's a few strange things around it. That's as far as I go. Not saying anybody did it.
I'm not mental, I swear.
Yeah, so this will get clipped. But anyway, so so how do you think they decided to cover the Trump's decision to pull out of the Paris Accord, which, as we've said, completely toothless agreement. It wouldn't make any difference if he stayed in, if he didn't enact the policies required to lower the emissions. They can't make him do anything. All it can be used is basically a launch pad for activists to attack you politically, which I think Donald Trump doesn't really give a fuck about that anymore. I think he's been through the ringer. So here you go. This was the front page of the Huff Post. Trump to planet, drop dead, and it's a picture of an Earth on fire. I mean, I think that's a little bit over the top, Sam.
Yeah, maybe a little.
You know, I just think maybe that's not going to happen tomorrow because he withdrew. And again, as I said, in the build-up to the election, all through the election, he said, in fact, you know what? I'm going to pull out of that. I'm going to pull out of that. But loads of other people, again, that they weighed in. Let's have a look at this. How the world reacted. And you can see that, again, lots of people, put stuff out. Here it is. Like, again, the Guardian did a rolling ticker feed for all the reactions, So some Microsoft were a part of a company who published an open letter asking him to remain in at the 11th hour. And you can see from the pictures there, it was like Apple, Facebook. Interesting, isn't it? All these tech companies. I mean, sure, like I said, Exxon, but it's interesting. I mean, again, these people, it's ineffectual to them. They talk a lot about some of the stuff that we would be benefited from if they'd stayed in. I don't really, maybe they're smarter than me. But for example, like they said, it strengthens competitiveness if they stay in. And I'm like, okay, how? And it goes, by requiring action by developed and developing countries alike, the agreement ensures a more balanced global effort, reducing the risk of competitive imbalances for U.S. companies. That doesn't mean anything, does it? I mean, by being in that agreement, it doesn't change that. And then they said here, it will create jobs, markets, and growth. I don't know how being in the Paris Accord does that. It actually does the exact opposite. It would reduce jobs, because to reduce the emissions, we'd have to reduce the output. And by reducing the output, we'd have to reduce the number of plants. And by reducing the number of plants, you reduce the number of employees working at plants. Those people are unemployed. That is actually not creating jobs, is it? I mean, that's the opposite of creating jobs. But these companies say that by expanding markets for innovative clean technologies, the agreement generates jobs and economic growth. US companies are well positioned to lead in these markets. Withdrawing from the agreement will limit our access to them and could expose us to retaliatory measures. Okay, let's say that's true. Let's say the premise is true, that we can only develop these renewable and clean technologies if we stay in the Paris Agreement. But we're still losing those other jobs. So is it a zero sum? Do we create more jobs? I suppose if that was true, if there was any model we could look at to prove that was true, that if by staying in the agreement, yes, we lose coal worker jobs, but we create renewable energy jobs for a net gain of jobs, that'd be great. Haven't seen that model. Don't think it exists. Don't know if that's true. And then they say, like, withdrawing from the agreement will limit our access to them. Don't understand why. And it could expose us to retaliatory measures. What other countries get butthurt if America then later decide, you know what, that environmental thing, fuck it, let's do it. Nah, fuck you, America. Well, in which case, if anybody took retaliatory measures about America, if they later decided to come round to it, then it's not about saving the planet, is it? It's just another pathetic international political pissing contest. So, I thought that was weird. But like a lot of people, Jack guy on Twitter. This is an incredibly short-sighted move backwards by the federal government. We're all on this planet together, and we need to work together. Again, doesn't imply otherwise. Again, I'd rather he was in. I think it shows the spirit of cooperation is alive. But I do find it odd that a guy who can't even monetize a fucking social media platform correctly, a guy who his own board have continually hauled over the coals because he's lying about the number of users it has, lying to shareholders about how popular it is, lying to advertisers about the returns that Twitter gets. Not sure you're the guy to fix global problems. You can't even run your own business efficiently. I don't know why these people feel they're the guys, Yeah, this is ridiculous. All right, good. How's Twitter doing? Shut up. So, yeah, it was handled. The coverage was kind of handled, poorly. And as I said, the deal on the table for America was you are one of the biggest polluters. You do have to make all of these changes, but we're not going to hold India to the same standard because we don't think they'll do it. We're not going to hold China to the same standard because nobody can control China. And as I said, the days of Trump agreeing to that sort of thing are just over. It's just not going to happen anymore. America entering into that spirit of, okay, give it to us twice as hard because we're the nice superpower that you can all get along with. It's just not going to work that way. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I felt I am a little bit saddened by it all, but I'm going to monitor what happens now in terms of policies that help clean energy, renewable energy domestically in the US. I don't think the planet's going to suddenly explode because of this decision to pull out. Ultimately, it makes no difference in the short term and possibly the long term as well. But when people campaign on a platform of America first and jobs first, they're going to withdraw from any agreement that potentially harms American jobs. That's just it. Nobody should be surprised by this. Some people, perhaps again, took it a little bit too far. There's a big hurricane coming into Florida, apparently. Yeah. We're getting into the start of hurricane season. So in a now delete... Yeah, well, yeah, probably as well, mate. Well, fucking hell, we've had electrical storms here in Hotlanta for fucking 2 weeks. Like, it's unreal. Like, I just pour with sweat, by the way, when I do these shows. I've got a fucking ceiling fan going round, and I'm just dripping. I sit on my porch and I drink whiskey with just ice, and the ice just melts instantly. It's just like, fucking please. It isn't even August, mate. And then we just get mad fucking torrential rain for 2 hours. You're like, fucking hell. Then scorching heat. Yeah, it's cool, I suppose. It's interesting. But anyway, so it's hurricane season down in Florida. In a now deleted comment, somebody basically said, let me just see, actually, I'll check if I archived this in time. But people are like, well, because Florida voted for Trump, let's have a look. Is this the comment? Yeah, here it is. I did archive it in time. So there's the archive. So I hope a Cat 5 sweeps Mar-a-Lago away with Trump, Bannon, Ivanka, and Jared, among others there. It's like, hang on a minute. Probably wouldn't wish your fucking hurricane that destroys and kills you on anybody, regardless of your voting policies. But that's it. So it's like, I guess to some people out there, it turns out that global warming is good because there's a chance it might kill some Trump supporters.
Oh, makes it sound then.
Yeah, so it's all right.
Fuck the other 48% of this country, mate. Right in the face with a hurricane.
Yeah.
They're all racists, right?
So, yeah, that was kind of upsetting. But anyway, so look, those are my thoughts on that. I probably haven't covered it enough in depth, but I don't want to drag the show out talking about something that's probably quite a dry topic to a lot of people. And again, just to clarify the position, I would have liked if we stayed in. Very much want us to be looking at renewable energy sources. One of my worst fears as a kid was climate change, actually. I was terrified about the prospect of it, because I said it was all doom. When I was a kid, it was like, this is going to run out, and what are we going to do? And we won't have petrol for the cars, and civilization will crumble, and rising water levels, all of Europe will be underwater. It was like, as a child, I was like, oh my god, this is like,
oh fucking hell, it's coming.
Yeah, legit though. I was terrible. I was getting told this in science class. Oh, and that reminds me. Speaking of science, fuck me. Right, Reddit. Okay. People on Reddit are just so fucked, aren't they? Like, if you're a moderator on Reddit, like an actual serious power moderator, I don't know what it is. It's like you must just fucking sit there cupping your own farts and, oh yeah, that's the good stuff. Just so wallowing in your own fucking imagined status, right? Out of all of the things that have been going on after the Paris climate agreement, okay, you've seen people have even walked away from the Trump administration. People are saying, I'll no longer be an advisor. One of the guys over at Disney, whose name temporarily escapes me, I suppose in the interest, I have got Google in front of me. Let's just see if I can find it. Bob Iger. He's resigned as an advisor on Trump's special counsel in protest at the Paris Agreement. That's kind of important. I think as well, there's been a few people that have thought about it. Mr. Elon Musk, I think, has intimated that he might be leaving as well. So these are big deals because, we need great thinkers and great minds to inform politics. I mean, I'm a big believer in that. I wish we had more of a technocracy kind of going on. So with that in mind, who would we want next to say I stand with all of these people? We've got Twitter fucking dropping their bombs. We've got all these big companies, Facebook, Apple, Google. We've got the people that I just mentioned, Elon Musk saying he's going to peace out and Brexit. Who else do you think do we need? Who could turn the tide and maybe make Donald Trump change his mind?
Bill Nye, mate.
Well, no, worse. Even further down the food chain. Reddit moderators, mate. Reddit moderators. The missing piece of the global political jigsaw. This is how mentally ill. I've said it before. There's two mental illnesses that I am comfortable giving a name to. The Trump derangement syndrome thing and mod syndrome. As soon as you get into being a fucking moderator on a large forum, something changes in your brain. It's literally that illusion of power and being able to kind of dictate what people can and can't say. The illusion of mattering. The illusion of owning a space that's vitally important. It's not going to matter in 5 years when Reddit's gone to shit and it's been replaced by whatever the next website is and the cycle continues. I don't know if these people will be able to, get over there quick enough. But just look at this. R/Science stands with the Paris climate agreement.
Thank God.
Yeah. So don't worry, guys. I know you were worried about this, right? And this is R.C. Smith. And he's like, earlier today, President Trump announced his intention to exit the Paris climate agreement, while R/Science does not take a stance on political issues, which they change because they do all the fucking time. It generally strives not to take a political stance. This issue is so exceptional and it's so heavily science-related that we made an exception. We feel the need to reaffirm our commitment to solid science, and in that regard, we strongly disagree with these actions. I hope someone sent Trump this so he knows. Climate change is real and it's happening right now. There is still time left to do something about it, but this requires the actions of all the people of the world. We decided to create this thread to welcome discussion and questions from the users about climate change. You're a Reddit moderator, mate. I ain't asking you fucking shit. What are you talking about? Oh, so what should we do, Reddit moderator? Guide us, oh great one. Like, how fucked in the feed is this
could also
guy?
just be lying on the internet about his degree. Guarantee there's some of those on there, mate.
Oh, of course, yeah, because they all claim.
I have a PhD in environmental engineering. Do you, though?
1,400 mobs. None of them could be lying, of course. But even so, like, I don't care if you've got a fucking degree in physics. That don't make you a climatologist, does it? Like, this is the problem. It's like Bill Nye all over again. But just the idea, though. Hey, guys, I know a lot of you were worried, but we've got it. We have taken a stance. And now you can ask us questions about this stance. Alf, are you guys all right? Do you need a grown-up to spell it out to you? I'll spell it out to you. You're a Reddit moderator. It's a voluntary position on a popular internet forum. You do not matter. Your opinion doesn't matter. Whether you stand with it or whether you're against it, you change nothing. You are nothing. Once you get out of that little space in which you exist and have dominion, that's it. That's it. That's all you are. It's insane that these people would think to make this post, and they did. That's Reddit moderators in a nutshell, by the way. I mean, they're all like that. They're all fucked in the head like that. They all think they're important. That's why you've got League of Legends moderators banning foreign videos for hate speech. That's why you've got, you've got Reddit staff members that moderate that fucking 2X chromosomes with the fucking lady fan fiction in it. And they're just going around banning people for posting in subreddits like, anything Meninist, which is stupid, but whatever, right? And they're posting in those subreddits and they're getting banned from other subreddits, which is a direct contravention to the laws and rules that Reddit just brought out. But it's all right. It's all about politics. These people are so fucking ill. Like, I here's what I'm going to do. Mark my words. When Reddit does eventually go down the toilet, I'm going to take my money and I'm going to create a support group for these people because they're going to need one. There'll be free coffee, biscuits. You're going to get round. You're going to sit in a little circle. You're going to be like, my name is R.C. Smith. I used to be a Reddit moderator. And looking back, I thought I mattered. I thought I was political. I made threads saying how I felt about policy of the American government, and 70,000 people upvoted these things. And then I realized one day after Reddit went away that actually I was just an overweight loser who lived with his parents still. And I'd watch anime, and that's all I have. And I don't know what I'm going to do now. And the group's going to clap.
And me.
We're all in the same position. Here's to finding a life that matters. And they'll all hold hands and they say, if you keep coming back, you keep working the program, eventually you'll be a functional member of society. What level of fucking delusion are you on? I might just, this is my stance, Mr. President. Fuck off, Richard Lewis. You're not important enough. Oh, yeah, shit. Yeah, you're right. Come on. It's fucking unreal, isn't it? Oh, fuck, they are. Right, let's do a couple of funny ones to wrap up and then let's get out. Where should we go? Oh, actually, bit of good news. I got to link you to BuzzFeed for it, though.
Right.
Okay. The ever wacky Joe Bernstein. Yeah, the ever wacky Joe Bernstein, a man who I can't tell if his BuzzFeed persona is trolling, because occasionally he does say things that are sensible, but then he undoes it all when he writes. Well, this story broke. Do you remember when we had that ridiculous journalist over at Fusion? We talked about it on the show. The one who said this was a white supremacist hand gesture. Her name was Emma Roller. I'll show you her Twitter feed as of now. I think you're going to like it. Let's just bring it up. Here it is. She's done the old fucking cowardly, don't want to be held accountable for the ridiculous shit I say in public. It's bullying me. You're bullying me. When you hold me accountable, you're bullying me. I should be allowed to say ridiculous, retarded, stupid things constantly. And if you reply and point out they are stupid and retarded, you are harassing me. Right? Every leftist journalist on planet Earth right now. Her accounts are protected. I got to make them protected. What will I do? Whatever will I do if I read people's replies? Why did she make them protected? Because she is being sued by Cassandra Fairbanks. Cassandra Fairbanks, formerly of Russian Times, I think she now writes for something called Big League Politics, which is another right-wing political kind of coverage site. No, sorry, it wasn't Russian Times. My bad. That's somebody else. It was Sputnik. That was it. She used to write for Sputnik. Now, Cassandra Fairbanks is a funny person, and she was up there with Cernovich doing this. the OK gesture. And Emma Roller tweeted out, just white supremacists in the White House. Not cool, really, is it? And I'm tired of it. And turns out Cassandra Fairbanks is tired of it. We all should be tired of it. Trump supporters are not white supremacists. White supremacists are white supremacists. If you call me a white supremacist, prove I am a white supremacist. So she has issued a lawsuit. It was one day before she had the opportunity left within which to create a suit, apparently. And you can see the suit below. It's there. It's embedded into the BuzzFeed report. And it's a defamation lawsuit for what this Emma Roller said. Emma Roller's tweet was shared 6,000 times, over 6,000 times on the internet. And it sparked that whole discussion about whether or not this was a white supremacist gesture, even though 4chan had said, let's troll everyone and say this is a white supremacist gesture. There was articles even arguing that just because trolls are doing it to troll, that still doesn't necessarily preclude it from being the thing we now say it is. The Independent, again, God, like what happened? The Independent wrote it up as a matter of fact that was the white power gesture. I believe they later deleted that report in embarrassment. But basically, enough's enough. And Cassandra Fairbanks is suing that journalist. And here's what's interesting. The Fusion editor-in-chief, Dodie Stewart, come out and said, our reporter, Emma Roller, has not actually been served, but the complaint provided by BuzzFeed is clearly frivolous. Nothing about, we shouldn't be calling people white supremacists when they're not. This suit is an obvious publicity stunt and an attempt to intimidate reporters who scrutinize the activity of the extreme right. We fully support Emma and will defend her, and they confirm that Fusion will pay the money for the legal defense. So I think this is great. I'd like to see this go the same way as when, the Hulk Hogan lawsuit against Gawker Media. Yeah. Because you can't just sling these fucking baseless allegations around. Enough is enough. And if this lawsuit does go ahead and it isn't frivolous and they've got the money and the juice to keep it going through, it could sink Fusion because defamation payouts are pretty big if you're going to fucking defame people in a way that could prevent them, getting work in future, harming their reputation, harming their bankability, their marketability. So I'm going to watch that one with great interest. I think there's hope for us in all of that, right? So we will see. And then just as another bit of insanity coming out from Salon, always good to go to. Salon wrote an article basically saying that the Beatles are evil because they made pop music for men. They made pop music male. So fuck the Beatles. I've never really heard this argument before. Salon, as I said, it always descends in a parody from time to time. But you can see here, she goes absolutely mad, basically focusing on Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band as the album, but basically just condemns the Beatles because it shaped pop music to be almost exclusively male. And how dare they do that? I mean, how dare they as a band of men make music? How dare they? So, pretty wild. Go read the article. Again, strap yourself in if you want to do that. Do you ever think that maybe some of these scientific studies that they put out are just bullshit, just grade A bullshit? I think so, because I read one the other day. This was in the, published over at Vice on their Broadly vertical, which I think is about gender and sexuality. It's hard to keep up. They've got so many verticals these days. A new study shows straight people aren't real. They don't exist. If you define yourself as straight, heterosexual, that is, you're not real. You don't exist. And this was a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology. which says that when they looked at gender expression in women and measured their physiological response of viewing pornographic material, it found that regardless of how women report their sexuality, their bodies respond to both hetero and homosexual sex, meaning women's sexuality is complex and not within the bounds of strict hetero or homosexuality. Similar studies, by the way, were done for men. They wired up men's genitals to response measurement machines, and they exposed them to gay pornographic imagery. They didn't know what was coming, and then people measured that response, and guess what? They measured arousal in a lot of guys. This doesn't mean those people are gay. So it's interesting they don't talk about this study in this report, but I remember reading about it many moons ago when I was interested in such things. And nor do I think you can draw the radical conclusion that straight people don't exist just because a woman might have got turned on by erotic imagery of women. Interestingly enough, I think wasn't the argument they used against Rimworld when they went after Tynan Sylvester on rock, paper, fucking shotgun. Wasn't the argument they used on that he had that women were more likely to turn lesbian? And they were like, no, this is an outrage. And it was based on code that he said was defective anyway. Let me just go back, because I did do a video on that article. All right, it's hard to remember. It's hard to keep up with all of the let me just see. Because he responded to it and he fucking wrecked them. Oh, did they edit the article? I think they might have. I don't think this is the original. This is the article where the female writer even faked the code. The code that she used wasn't even the real code in the game. So, yeah, let me just find. Straight men will always find men unattractive. There are no bisexual men. Women may find women attractive. Gay women always find men unattractive. There are only bisexual or gay women. So, because that women were more likely to be bisexual, something just proven by this scientific study, this female writer on Rock, Paper, Shotgun said that this game was a disgrace and was sexist. Well, which one is it? Is your bullshit scientific study right, or is the game that seems to have presciently predicted some universal truths about female sexuality, which you also said was unacceptable? Is that right? Which one is it? They can't even get their ducks in a row, can they? Leftists. Never can. And then, in fact, just to show you how fucked up these studies are, I think this is a good way to close the show out. There was a gender studies academic hoax, right? And naturally, it had to be reported by Breitbart because it was a huge embarrassment for all these people who take this sociological stuff as science. Sociology isn't a science. It's not. There's no argument about it. You can tell, but it is because it does this. If you think sociology is a hard science in the same way science is, you're fucked in the head. I can't help you. It's not. It's a lot of guesswork and theory. And, but we use the same measurements. We use surveys and stuff. Right, listen, guys, please stop. This isn't like hard empirical science, is it, at all? Stop this. One of the worst things that happened to society holistically is when people started taking sociology to be a hard science. In fact, the premise of all of these ridiculous things, white privilege, white fragility, the patriarchy, whatever it is, pick an absurd concept. It actually comes from the empowerment given to wacky sociological ideas with not a lot of data to substantiate it, because people are pushing for sociology to be recognized as a hard science. It's not. But there was this report here, which was published in a peer review journal, Cogent Social Sciences, which describes itself as a multidisciplinary open access journal offering high quality peer review across the social sciences, published a study that penises cause climate change. They published it. It was the hoax was written by Peter Boghossian, who is a full-time faculty member in the philosophy department at the Portland State University, and James Lindsay, who has a doctorate in math and a background in physics. These are learned people, but these are learned people that were so bored and tired of the bullshit that was coming out of this new wave of academia, they decided to publish a spoof study, right? So here it is. Bogosian and Lindsay threw in lots of what they call signifier phrases, which lets you know, that this is the political leanings. The paper was called Transgressing the Boundaries Towards a Transformative Hermeneutics of Quantum Gravity. And he said, we intend to test the hypothesis that flattery of the academic left's moral architecture in general, and of the moral orthodoxy in gender studies in particular, is the overwhelming determiner of publication in an academic journal in that field. That is, we sought to demonstrate that a desire for a certain moral view of the world to be validated could overcome the critical assessment required for legitimate scholarship. Particularly, we suspected that gender studies is crippled academically by an overriding, almost religious belief that maleness is the root of all evil. On the evidence, our suspicion was justified. And so they put forward this paper that basically said masculinity and the possession of a penis will lead to things like climate change. They said here, they wrote just meaningless paragraphs into the study, which anybody who was critically reviewing this would go, oh yeah, this is bullshit. This is complete nonsense. But they don't, because the message, the kind of like synopsis of what the study says is very desirable for gender studies people. So you can see here this paragraph, in as much as masculinity is essentially performative, so too is the conceptual penis. The penis, in the words of Judith Butler, can only be understood through reference to what is barred from the signifier within the domain of corporeal legibility. That's Butler, 1993. The penis should not be understood as an honest expression of the performer's intent, should it be presented in a performance of masculinity or hypermasculinity. Thus, the isomorphism between the conceptual penis and what's referred to throughout discursive feminist literature as toxic hypermasculinity is one defined upon a vector of male cultural machismo braggadocio, with a conceptual penis playing the role of subject, object, and verb of action. The result of this trichotomy of roles is to place hypermasculine men both within and outside of competing discourses, whose dynamics, as seen via post-structuralist discourse analysis, enact a systemic interplay of power in which the hypermasculine men use the conceptual penis to move themselves from powerless subject positions to powerful ones. See Foucault, 1972. Now, that's utter garbage. Everything I've said there is just bullshit. It's just a load of big words. Yeah, just a load of big words jumbled together, and it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. Yet it was published in a peer review journal. No problem. That's fine. And no claim made in this paper was considered too ludicrous. They said the penis is the universal performative source of all rape, and is the conceptual driver behind climate change. And in there, you see, because this is so meta, because this fake study themselves was studied, and they were using the publication of the fake study for a real study that proves you can get any old shit published as long as you conform to gender studies norms, he said, look, you read that right. We argued that climate change is conceptually caused by penises. How did we defend that assertion? We did it with this paragraph. Destructive, unsustainable, hegemonically male approaches to pressing environmental policy and action are the predictable results of a raping of nature by a male-dominated mindset. This mindset is best captured by recognizing the role of the conceptual penis holds over masculine psychology. When it is applied to our natural environment, especially virgin environments that can be cheaply despoiled for their material resources and left dilapidated and diminished when our patriarchal approaches to economic gain have stolen their inherent worth, the extrapolation of the rape culture inherent in the conceptual penis becomes clear. And again, nonsense. They're saying that capitalism is rape, and we wouldn't have capitalist structures or systems if it wasn't for the conceptual penis, Sam. So there you go. So you can go read that full fake study if you want. The conceptual penis as a social construct. It shouldn't have been published in a peer-reviewed journal, but it was, because that is the state of fucking these pseudosciences. If you think sociology, gender studies, any of these things are sciences, again, you are fucked. You are mentally ill. It boggles the mind. So there you have it. We can end the show. We can wrap it up there. A good way to end a week of daily shows, Sam. So we did it. We said we were going to do it. We did it. And obviously, we want to thank everybody for supporting the show and tuning in. We've had some good numbers, been creeping up. We had almost 600 viewers today. So that's clearly gone up from where we started on day one. So thanks to all the people who have obviously, liked, subscribed, donated. Thanks to all the people who have been pushing exactly what we need you to do over on the YouTube channel, which is make sure you don't get unsubscribed on a daily basis, because obviously we've been putting the VODs out daily. Make sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. Make sure you put a like and a comment on each video. And if you keep doing this, we feel that there is the growth potential that we can make this a regular thing. Obviously, work withstanding, but that's the plan. So, I think we can wrap it up there. We're going to put the VOD out of yesterday's show right after this one, so that'll be in the YouTube channel now. Thanks to everybody for tuning in, all the support, and I think, we will see you on Monday, roughly the same time. Hopefully I don't have a hangover then. I probably will. But until then, look after yourselves, and we will see you on the next Richard Lewis Show.